All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce, as usual. It is Tuesday, Tasty Tunage Tuesday, and some of you are already guessing. You're either excited or you're groaning. Where's my sign? Where's my sign? For those of you in the know, we got our workplace sign here. I don't know what the actual number is, but we did pretty much all the Floyd and Waters in season 1. I mean, we covered it all, right? But it's been a while, and we have an anniversary today, this week, for an album that we didn't cover. So here we are in the corner, the Floyd corner of the cave. We're going back to November 22nd, 1988, when Pink Floyd drops Delicate Sound of Thunder, their live double album. This record would go to number 11 in the United States and sells over 3 million copies. It's a recording of their 1987 tour, Momentary Lapse of Reason, which I saw, as you all know, in Foxborough, Massachusetts. This was recorded over 5 nights at Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York in August of 1988. All right, so first of all, live albums. I've said it before. I was not a fan of live albums growing up. As a teenager, even into college, it just wasn't my thing. I owned very few live albums. The first live album I ever loved was Talking Heads' Stop Making Sense in 1984. And the next one after that was probably Live Bullet, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. And it's few and far between after that. And it wouldn't be until much later that I would appreciate live albums. To this day now, I do appreciate live albums, especially singer-songwriters. But it took me a long time to like this record. I didn't buy this record. I didn't particularly listen to it. It's long, and it just wasn't... I wanted the studio versions. That's what I wanted. But this came out on double LP, double cassette. Remember double cassettes? Remember that? That was a thing. And of course, double CD. And each one had a slightly different either track listing or track order. And they had so much material they couldn't even fit on any of those things. So some of them omitted performances, and there were many performances omitted altogether on all of them. It was mostly live, although David Gilmour said in an interview early on that it was all live. There was some stuff they did in the studio, either minor stuff with adding some acoustic guitar or fooling around with something there or there, but it's mostly live. And I revisited this. When did I revisit this? Really, over the last 5 years. It hasn't even been that long, but when I got word that they were going to be reissuing it and remastering it and doing everything, then I took notice and started listening to it, and I was like, wow. And then I went ahead and bought this Mammoth Box Set, the later years. Look at this thing. It's massive. This thing is huge. This is great. But they went back to the original 35 millimeter film, remastered it, 5.1 surround. We thought it was going to be in 5K, the Blu-ray. It's not, but it's pretty darn good. And they just changed it, cleaned it up. They put songs that were kind of missing in some of the other ones. They put them all back, and they even added, I think, 6 previously unreleased songs, most of them from Momentary Lapse of Reason, the album. And they restored it, and it's just beautiful. It's actually just really, really gorgeous. The Blu-ray of this is amazing. My only critique is that, for whatever reason, it must be the length of Blu-ray. I don't know what the length of Blu-rays are, but the 6 tracks that are added, which I love, from Momentary Lapse of Reason, are on a separate disc. They're not in the actual concert film. It's kind of weird. But this is some good stuff. Obviously, you have to be a deep Floyd fan in order to like this stuff. But it does bring stuff back for you. As far as songs go, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, the opening song, so good. Like, you think you get tired of that song, but this one coming out right out the gate, live performance is pretty powerful, pretty amazing. Dogs of War is a highlight for me from Momentary Lapse of Reason. One of These Days, love that song, that guitar, awesome. Wish You Were Here, Comfortably Numb, they're all on there. Again, Dark Side of the Moon is probably one of the least played albums that I play because I hear those songs so much. They do a nice job in here. but there's some really, really good stuff on here. This was the first album played in space. Little factoid for you guys. Soviet cosmonauts played that. I don't know what year, but they did. And if I'm going to pick a favorite here, it is by far the song Sorrow, which I think I've talked about before. But Sorrow is a song that is from Momentary Lapse of Reason. I think it doesn't get its due. It's an amazing song, amazing performance. I mean, I remember having the VHS of this, and I remember watching this particular song on tiny screen with a VHS and just being awestruck. And then now, when you see it restored and they change the camera angles, it's just a pretty amazing performance of Sorrow. And that's your song of the day. We're going to post that video. It's so good. If you don't know this song, check it out. You can just see why this was a big deal in 1988. So there's your Floyd fix for a while. You're welcome to your song of the day, Sorrow, from The Delicate Sound of Thunder. Enjoy whatever you're doing today. We're at 6 minutes. We're going to get out and get our day going. So have a good one. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.